I mentioned, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about motion, all right? Of the team here, who says to themselves every morning, hey, I'm really, really good at this? Raise your hand. Selling beds. No one's, well, we got more work than I thought. So who does a nice job? Rob, who does a nice job on the, all right, so in a week's time, okay, average week, how many queen sets are you closing? Couple. So 10 a month. So 10 a month, right now you're tracking less than 2 motion bases attached per month, right? Doubling that, we look at, so motion essentials, the easiest one, and you're going to have plenty of them on the floors. $14 spiff plus whatever the commission is. So when you got to start to look at the math, and now this can really impact you because you did one thing differently than in 16. You introduced every customer to motion. It's going to happen. Okay? So who is this guy? I just want to talk about myself again. I'm just going to be all about myself. Now, take a look at this picture. Anybody know who that is? Who is it?
My grandpa.
Oh, is it? That'd be awesome if it was, because there's a story to tell. Somebody asked if it was Godwin's founder. I said, no, I don't think so.
Mr. Joel Customer?
Nope. So let me show you a picture of him a little younger. All right? Who said it? It's Roger Bannister. Sir Roger Bannister now, actually. You guys know who that is? Sir Roger Bannister. 4-minute mile. It's the first dude that did it. I'm not going to walk you through a dialogue with how to sell a customer a motion base for this presentation. I want to give you some, seriously, brain food. All right, we're going to talk about the 4-minute mile a little bit. For decades, tens and 20 of years, people were trying to break the 4-minute mile. That was like this thing that humans had never done. They wanted to get at it and try and break sub 4 minutes. In 1945, at that time, the world record was 4:01.4. Nobody could beat that. They tried the craziest things. They tried to run barefoot. They tried to run on sand, on concrete. I have found some stories about they drank tiger's milk because that's a fast thing. And maybe that would help them run faster. But nobody could do it. Then in 1954, so for at least 9 years, that was the number. And May 6, 1954 was a day Roger Bannister said, I'm going to try this. He was not a runner. He was in London. He was in pre-med school in 1954. Horrible day to run. It was rainy and windy. And I kind of think, so it's a Monday in the store. You wanted to check Facebook, but you got a customer complaint call first. So you're kind of having a crappy condition too. Know that you need to overcome it and get really, really comfortable with the introduction process of motion to each and every customer. You're going to get real comfortable with the support report very quickly, promise. So that's your in. But what if you get a 80-year-old couple that doesn't want any fandangled new technology? Still introduce. And think about qualifying questions. Got any acid reflux going on? How's the snoring? I mentioned that earlier. Pregnancy, I don't know if you've found it yet, but lower legs are going to swell up on you a little bit. This is something that you can bring in and say, you know what's really going to help? Let me show you, and boom, bring the legs up. Heart disease. You'll start to get to hear a lot of medical issues that you don't necessarily need to have every consumer sharing everything with you. But it's creating a solution for problems they have, and isn't that what we're doing on the floor each and every day? A lot of times it's just sleep, but other times it can be health issues. And then going back to the simple, I play PlayStation a lot in bed, and I got a motion base about 8 months ago, and it's the best thing ever. My wife's not necessarily happy about it because I play later at night. But anyway, the terrible track conditions are to let you know, don't be frustrated, don't be discouraged. May 6, 1954, Roger Bannister ran 3:59.4. He did it. He's the guy. Took forever. He's the guy. In the following year, after he did it, take a stab at how many people did it. Give me a number.
0.
7, 0 is a good number. 8. 37 people did it after he did it. Why? Because it could be done. Lynn, thank you. Attitude changed. So, if you're thinking, okay, we're at 18%, and again, listen, man, that's a solid number. I've got members that I need to go visit because they're at 4 and 6, and they're really leaving a lot of money on the table. Look, each and every door pull, when they come through your store, on average, costs the store $85 today. So when they're in, man, you got to maximize every single opportunity that you have. But when they're in and you introduce them with that attitude that I'm going to show, I'm going to introduce it, and I'm going to get a close. Suddenly, bumping that number 18 up to 30% close ratio is going to be easier. Does that make sense? Can I challenge you guys? Can you do that? I'm going to call you every week. Did you ask everybody? Did you ask everybody? Here's a good one. If I had asked people what they wanted, it would have said faster horses. And he never built the car. But he didn't ask the customer what they wanted. He didn't ask the customer what they came in for, if you will. The people that bought motion bases last year, do you know what the percentage is of how many came in asking for it? 15%. So 85% of all the motion bases sold in 2016, the people were not even thinking about it. So think about things you buy, going out to the mall or wherever you go. Think about the things that you're going in with a purpose to buy. I need this chair. But that RSA says, hey, you ever think about a cover? I don't know. Something that's going to raise the price of this chair. If you never ask me, I'm never buying it, right? And that's how we are as consumers. Look, man, you know what the worst thing for me to buy is? And mattresses do come into play. Somebody mentioned it earlier. Mattresses are horrible purchases for the consumers. Why? They don't show it off. It's so important. I promise you, Super Bowl last weekend, the past 2 weeks, the zillions of TVs that were bought, the next night they had their buddies over or girlfriends over to show off their new TV. How many times has it happened with a new mattress? Never. Probably. Freaks, I don't know. Anyway, for me, it's tires. It's car tires. I don't know anything about it. They're round, they're rubber. That's my extent. But you know what? When they talk to you about, well, here's how you can get 15,000 more miles. Or you live in Pennsylvania, so you get ice. And it's, $90 more a tire. But the dude showed me my return on that investment and what that can help me do. So he made my life better and safer in my driving car. So the same thing really, really does come into play when we're talking about motion. So straight up, have you ever walked a sale? We've all walked sales, right? What are we getting? We're getting a no. Does it hurt? I mean, it hurts because you don't get money. You don't close the sale. But it doesn't hurt. So introducing it to everybody, look, if you get to 30%, you're still getting 7 no's. But 30% is huge. And they'll really impact you. The other thing I wanted to mention real quick on the support report side of things and how that transitions. When you start talking about what health problems that they can impact, and then get them on that bed they love, suddenly they really, really start thinking about putting it in their bedroom. And that's when you win. You know, that's when you get that close. So again, just kind of paint that picture for them. You know, Mary, remember when you said, when he drinks 3 beers, he snores. You know what? Here's this little button. Boom, hit it. You're going to see it reduce. And then they start ribbing each other, and suddenly it's a fun little interaction. But it's so important. I just can't overstress. Show it every time. Kerry, great words. It's going to be impossible to get to 30%. Right? I'm going to leave you with this for this section. Impossible is not a fact. It's an opinion. Thanks.